Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating playbook that completely bypasses the traditional real estate agent gatekeeper. We're talking about a completely different angle for acquiring high-value real estate clients. If you've been sitting around just waiting for agents to toss you a lead, well, this material is going to completely rethink that approach for you. So the core premise here really boils down to asking yourself one question. What if you never needed a realtor again? Seriously. Imagine a business model where elite financial advisors, wealth managers, and top-tier legal professionals are bringing high-value, ready-to-go deals directly to you. Why would they do that? Because they view you as a strategic partner, not just another vendor hoping for a tiny sliver of their business. But to pull this off, you've got to make a fundamental mindset shift. It's about moving away from being a purely transactional loan officer, the one desperately waiting for an agent to just give out 3 names to a client. Instead, you have to elevate yourself into an indispensable financial strategist. You aren't just processing a loan anymore. You're actively completing a much larger financial puzzle for these clients. All right, here's what's on the agenda today. We're mapping out 4 professional gold mines: advisors and wealth managers, the Chapter 13 niche, navigating divorce decrees, and finally, CPAs and tax strategists. Let's dive in. Section 1. Advisors and wealth managers. These are your true fiduciaries. What's really fascinating here is how the mortgage product itself gets completely redefined. See, a financial advisor is a true fiduciary. They don't just hand out 3 names like a realtor might. They give one, highly trusted recommendation. To earn that recommendation, you have to realize that to them, a mortgage isn't just buying a house. It's a vital liability management tool that directly impacts their client's net worth. So the key takeaway here is reframing how debt is viewed. You aren't selling a loan. You're providing an asset optimization tool. You're using strategic financing to keep their clients' capital invested in high-yield vehicles, rather than forcing them to liquidate their hard-earned assets for a massive down payment. So, how do we actually put this into action? Well, step 1 is your pitch. You position mortgages purely as asset optimization. Step 2 is your lead magnet. You create a co-branded spreadsheet called The Cost of Liquidating versus Leveraging in 2026 to show them the cold, hard math. And step 3, the play itself. Offer a fast, punchy 15-minute presentation to their entire firm. Your goal is to show them exactly how strategic debt structures, like specific interest rate hedges or custom amortization schedules, protect their clients' long-term portfolio growth. You're literally solving a massive headache for them by keeping their clients' capital right where it belongs, under their management. Moving right along to Section 2, the Chapter 13 niche, focusing on bankruptcy attorneys. When you track the bankruptcy timeline, there's actually a secret window that most people miss. Debtors start their Chapter 13 plan, and once that debtor successfully makes their minimum payments for 12 to 24 months, boom, they become completely eligible for FHA or VA financing, provided they get trustee approval. But these bankruptcy attorneys, they absolutely hate losing track of clients or watching them get rejected by retail lenders who have absolutely no clue how to navigate manual underwriting guidelines. So the playbook strategy here is pretty brilliant. First, the pitch. Position yourself as a Chapter 13 financing specialist who knows exactly how to package loans for court approval without disrupting the active cases. Second, the lead magnet. You'll create a step-by-step PDF checklist, a trustee approval roadmap for home purchasing and refinancing. And finally, the play. Drop this roadmap off at local bankruptcy law offices. But here's an insider tip. Actually, scratch that. It's absolutely crucial. Bypass the attorneys and focus entirely on the paralegals. They are the true gatekeepers handling the paperwork and dealing with clients who are desperate to buy or refinance during their plan. All right, Section 3 brings us to navigating divorce decrees within family law practices. In a divorce, real estate is basically an emotional minefield. Traditional agents usually try to split the equity emotionally, but this strategy completely changes the conversation for divorce attorneys. A divorce attorney desperately needs someone who can provide a concrete mathematical solution. The playbook suggests offering what it calls equity detachment appraisals and refueling. This simply means determining mathematically if one spouse can realistically afford a cash-out refinance to buy out the other without completely destroying their stable debt-to-income bounds, essentially making sure their new monthly debt payments don't completely overwhelm their gross income. You're removing the emotion and stepping in with pure mathematical clarity. The execution here needs to be highly targeted. The pitch centers on your specific expertise in debt-to-income analysis and equity refueling. For the lead magnet, offer a quick guide tailored for their practice called The 3 Mortgage Blunders That Ruin Divorce Decrees. It shows the extreme danger of forcing a refinance that a client literally cannot qualify for. And the play? target family law practices, and offer to review their standard real estate decree language against the latest 2026 underwriting guidelines. You are literally stepping in to save them from a future malpractice claim. That is a massive value add. And finally, Section 4, CPAs and tax strategists. Getting down to the raw financial truth. These financial experts constantly battle a really frustrating core problem. They have these self-employed clients who generate massive cash flow, but thanks to aggressive tax write-offs, they look completely broke on paper. And we all know the universal pain of what happens next, right? When those clients go to a traditional lender, it results in absolute nightmare automated underwriting rejections. Traditional mortgage qualification for them is practically impossible, which creates a massive headache for the CPA during an already chaotic tax season. To solve this headache, you pitch yourself as the expert in alternative financing, specifically non-QM or non-qualified mortgage loans, which are designed for borrowers with non-traditional income, as well as bank statement loans. For your lead magnet, provide the CPA with a quick reference cheat sheet detailing alternative income documentation for self-employed borrowers. And the play? Well, timing is everything here. Right after the chaos of tax season wraps up, you launch a targeted outreach campaign to help their self-employed clients buy homes using 12-month bank statements, completely avoiding those tax returns that show heavy deductions. Okay, let's wrap this up with Section 5, the non-realtor master checklist. This is your actionable matrix. Look at how this all comes together. This master checklist perfectly contrasts the specific pain points of these 4 professional profiles against your highly specialized solutions. For financial advisors, their nightmare is clients liquidating managed portfolios. Your solution is liquidation mitigation via strategic leverage. For bankruptcy attorneys, they've got clients stuck in a plan. Your solution is court-ready manual underwriting packages. Divorce attorneys struggle with unrealistic refinance decrees, so you offer pre-decree borrowing eligibility analysis. And for CPAs dealing with rejected self-employed clients, you bring alternative income execution. Ultimately, it shows exactly how you become the specific solution to their very specific problems. I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to challenge the status quo. If your entire pipeline depends purely on real estate agents choosing to hand out your name, who is really in control of your business? It might just be time to step beyond the agent. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.